welcome Miss Universe Philippines Quirino 2025, Bianca, Ysabella, Olay, Ylanan. Welcome, Bianca. Alright, so ang saya-saya at makasama ka namin because this is your special day, Bianca. So ayan, and thank you so much. Ayan, sa iyong napakaganda. And I hope talaga sa stage daw tayo.
Really early start and then passerella training with aces, and now we're here. So it's really good to see all your faces. It's such a good day.
Right. And how's your teams?
It's been a lot. It's been tough, but I'm so lucky that I'm with aces and I'm with other girls there as well. It's been such a supportive and really healthy environment, not only in aces but also with Miss Universe.
Right. Thank you, Bianca. That's amazing. And I'm sure proud na proud sa iyo ang iyong mga kababayan sa Quirino province. And of course, ang ating mga supporters nationwide na talagang sinusundan ka nila, talagang sinusuportahan ko all the way to the crown for the Miss Universe Philippines. At syempre, may inihandog
for 2025. So, aside from being the representative of your province, ano yung ibang duties mo, if there's any, as MUPH Quirino?
As Miss Universe, with this platform, I really want to showcase not only Quirino, but my advocacy, which is on Philippine children's health, because I have like two inspirational generations of women who are in the field of medicine. I grew up looking up to them, so to me it's really close to my heart that I get to not only work as a scientist, as a medical scientist, but also as someone who can promote Filipino children's health. Because here in the Philippines, even if our economic growth is good, there's still 1 out of 4 children who is like stunted with their growth, because malnutrition is not only undernutrition, but it's also kids who are overweight as well. So it really encompasses a lot. I can talk to you about it for hours, but yeah.
Wow, very good. Okay,
My head in the books. I am always like reading either non-fiction, fiction, but also in school. So I recently just graduated as a laboratory medical scientist in Australia, in the University of Tasmania there. So after that, if not Miss Universe Philippines, I would probably be a medical scientist or pursue medicine as well.
Sure.
Yes. Oh, so as I mentioned, I studied in Australia for my university. But when I decided to do that, it was January 2020. I flew to Australia, and then as in a week after lockdown. So luckily my mom actually got to fly with me. Pero nakauwi pa naman siya, thank God, safely. But I was stuck there for 4.5 years. It's a good place to be stuck in, I'm not gonna lie. Pero I was alone, I didn't have any family. It was the time where I truly kind of tested my independence and just know myself. Because I've always been with family, maybe, just my mom, cousins, everywhere. I've always been with people and family because that's how we Filipinos are. And then when I went to Australia, I was fully alone, didn't know anyone, didn't know what was happening because COVID was so new there. So it really challenged me and how I perceive myself in the world. So I think I got out of it well. I mean, like, I'm here now. So yeah, it's been tough, but I'm lucky that I have the support that I had then as well.
Okay, next question. Itong journey mo sa Miss Universe Philippines, like, nagkaroon ba kayo ng local pageant or appointed lang for Quirino province?
Yeah, I'm appointed as Miss Universe Philippines Quirino. This has been in the radar a couple years, but again, my priority has always been my studies. But now that I just finished that, I have, all the time and effort and, more of the headspace to put here in Miss Universe Philippines.
Last one. Your message to the toxic pageant fans.
Well, let's just not be victims of misinformation. Let's do our, due diligence of researching. It's so easy. We're already on our phones, so mere Googling who I am, what I do as a medical laboratory scientist, I think that would be easy. Yeah.
Is, gusto ko lang malaman, would it be okay if you could share to us your pageant journey?
Yeah, so I just started training. When I knew I was going to do Miss Universe Philippines representing Quirino, I started training with aces and queens, of course. I could only be with the best, I guess. And they've been really helpful. So I started January. So it was pretty, it was pretty soon as I knew. January, I started with them, Pasarela, Q&A, and it's really wholesome because they also have mental health and personality development classes as well as nutrition classes, so they really have a holistic view in pageantry, which I really, really admire because it's quite healthy. And then I just met the girls as I went through it, and it was nerve-wracking because, again, my first pageant, I'm just here, it's quite new, but the more I knew the girls and the more I did the training, the more my confidence grew because these girls are it's like what I said, they're really empowering. They're telling me oh, your worries, you can do that, don't worry, just do the training. So as much as I want to say it's been hard, it's really just like girls being girls, women being women, and it's lovely.
Sino mga besties mo ngayon sa...
Yes, so with the Cali girls, because I started training with them, so Bago City, Kayla Usikan, Malayakan, and Caloocan. So they're my besties mainly because they're the people I started with, and we just keep doing what we're doing.
Thank you and good luck on your journey, Bianca.
Thank you so much.
Hi, girl. Hi. Yeah, Miss
Nice to see you
Quirino.
again. Hello.
How old are you?
25 po.
25. I'm 24. Which Miss Universe Philippines or Miss Universe do you look up to?
Other than, I keep saying Pia Woodsbrack, but other than Pia Woodsbrack, I think it would be Venus Raw, because she's really the woman I look up to and who ignited my passion in pageantry and how I kind of just show myself, because she's Morena as well, and I think that's where my confidence grew with my skin too, with Venus Raw. That's where it all started.
I love your oriental look. And you have a good, beautiful bone structure. In fairness.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're a scientist.
Yeah.
Alright, so aside from being a scientist, so can you give us siguro at least 3 interesting facts na gusto mong i-share na gusto mong malaman namin?
Yeah, other than being a medical scientist, I'm what else? Oh, okay. So here's one thing that when I was in Australia, of course, very different culture. I learned how to surf, I learned how to skate, and that's kind of where I first met my couple friends as well. So I learned how to do that. I don't know how to ride a bike, so if any of you have free time later, teach me how to ride a bike. I grew up with my cousins, so whenever I say I'm an only child, I'm not really, because I grew up with my cousins and I also have my siblings with my dad, but I was the only girl for like a good 20 years, so nasa akin talaga ang corona sa pamilya. And now I have my little cousin, Yana, who's already starting to do the poses, and one other thing, if not Miss Universe Philippines, I would have learned how to be a Pilates instructor, because I think with Pilates it's been such a great fitness kind of endeavor for me, because it's not running. Cardio is not my best friend. nor is strength training, because I can only really lift 5 kilos. But with Pilates, it's just good for my figure as well, because you're stretching and you're with my balance. So I think it was a good preempt to my pasarela training.
Last question. In one word, can you describe your national costume?
Okay. I don't want to say much. I'm so excited with my national costume actually. But mine would be... Oh, I'll give you a very vague one. Tall. My national costume is really tall. So, yeah. I don't want to give away too much. Yeah.
That's the new national costume. Alright, thank you, girl.
Hi Bianca, I'm Christian from the Ground Philippines.
Hello.
So my question is, but can you take us back to the time and the day when you finally decided that you're ready to sign up for Miss Universe Philippines, and actually what triggered, you saying yes to being a representative of Quirino?
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, I was in Australia for 4.5 years because of COVID, and I didn't really want to halt my studies because I wasn't sure if I go home I'd be able to go back because of COVID restrictions. So I came home here first, wanting to just be with my family, and then the invitation came up. It was more of because I'm content with my university studies, because that was my main goal. I've had my mom, my auntie, my grandma, my relatives to look up to, and they're all quite career driven, like they're so good at what they do, and that's what I want to do as well. And now that I've finished studies, I was content with that, but I also want to be more than my career, than just being a scientist. I see, when I got the invitation, I saw it more in a holistic way, because I want to be whole as a person. I want to be an advocate, I want to be a good ate, I want to be a good partner, I want to be a good daughter. And if being an advocate means being Miss Universe Philippines, then I'd take that role.
Yeah. And my next different kind of competition,
Mhm.
more so we talk about Filipino fans who are very passionate about following the journey of their candidates.
That's one thing I did think about a lot. One, I have nothing to hide, so it's quite easy. But also, being very careful with what I say. I think with my 4 years of being alone, being independent, and knowing myself, I've garnered that strength and confidence that with what I say is what is true to me. Because I think one of the few things I learned there as well, I really have to draw in my opinions from a lot of sources, so reliable sources, and before I say anything. So I think just carrying on that habit of mine will kind of keep me in the good, position here.
What does regular Bianca do when she's not doing hospital rounds?
Yeah, I'm quite laid back. I would always be either with a book or knitting, because I tend to try to have a new hobby every year. Last year it was knitting. This year it's scrapbooking. Very Lola, very tita vibes lang. Pero I'd probably just be in the corner doing that. Because outside of that, there's this where it's full glam, being my best self in front of the cameras. I think outside of that, I still am my best self, but just in comfier clothes and probably with a book. For example, for me, from just being a medical laboratory scientist to being a beauty queen to being at home not doing much, or my mom, she's a pediatric gastroenterologist. She's a great mom. She's also lectures, but she's probably one of the pageant fanatics as well. I get this confidence from her. So we're quite multifaceted. And being with Miss Universe Philippines, each and every girl has their own story, and that's what makes this competition really beautiful. My partner's here with me actually. Actually, at the back. And probably packing up our things. We, sold the house, packed up all our things to move here to pursue my interests as well as like kind of him resting. So the craziest thing we've done is like literally moved halfway across the world to find our passions. And I think if you grow as a couple, but you should also let each other grow individually, because that's what makes you stronger. If I am flourishing as a beauty queen, I think he is flourishing in his own stuff as well. I don't know.
And someone asked me, where is he?
Yeah.
So how would you answer her question during
Oh
that
my
time?
goodness, okay.
What is that one big mistake that you have made in your life, and what did you do to make it right?
Kalmado!
One of the biggest mistakes I've made would probably not believing in myself, especially when I got in Australia. It was COVID. I was like, can I do this? Am I ready for this? But I was in that position because I am ready, and I think the universe won't take us to a position or a spot if we're not ready for it. So I really just I didn't fake it, but I just made it happen for myself. So that's kind of just how I corrected it. I made sure that it's my moment and I'm gonna claim it and I'm gonna continue on that goal.
Be the next Miss Universe.
I'm not only up for the crown. Miss Universe to me is representing the Filipinos. Right now, yes, I'm representing Quirino, but to represent Filipinos is such a big responsibility. And I think I should be the next Miss Universe because, like Filipinos, I am multifaceted. I show our pagkapwa not only from my experience in Australia, but also from being in Quirino and in Manila. And I think I can bring a really fresh perspective, not only to the Philippines, but to the universe.
Yes.
Because this is my first pageant, there's nothing, to compare of. I'm gonna promise you that in every step, in every competition, you'll see my best and the best version of myself.
Okay, second question. Sa Philippines, parang yung bashing is an ordinary thing lang sa iba, no? So, how do you deal with bashers?
I choose not to. I honestly just don't look at it because it's something that I won't gain. There's no purpose for it for me. It doesn't fulfill me. It doesn't benefit me. So why would I want it in my life?
Okay, last question. Catch your Nagrivas asked this question. Is it Corona or pag-ibig? And why?
Afam for me!
I think with what I mentioned before, the crazy things we do for love, but right now it would be the crown because I know that my partner is going to be backing me up with whatever I do, and this is my goal now. This is what fulfills me now. So the crown.
Title holders like Winwin Marquez, Isa Manalo.
I think as much as it has been intimidating at first, especially when I haven't seen them, but as soon as I met them, they're so welcoming. They're so. I am next or near to Ylanan, Aduana, because Sinaloa and Quirino close, as well as Atisa. They're nothing but such big sisters. They're like, whatever you need, whatever you like. Do you need a mirror? Do you need a touch-up? They're always there. And I think when I look at it from an outside perspective, not as a beauty queen with them, I'm in the competition for a reason, and I have a lot to prove. I think all of us has the same kind of chance to win. It's 1 out of 69, and if that would be me, I'll pursue that role.
Okay.
Hard worker. From what we've seen in all the Quirinians that we have, from my grandma to the farmer to the meat vendor, everyone's so hardworking, and I think that's such a great, habit and that I not only bring to the competition but to life. And they do it with a smile because we are the basket of happiness. So I think it really shows when you're in Quirino that they do their job with such rigor, but also with biggest smile.
I think we have the basket of
I
happiness.
hope you have, you enjoy your basket of happiness as well. Going to another province, you really have to go there. And, before, my lolo would go to dialysis here in Manila. So 10, 13-hour drive for dialysis, go back there. So it's really exhausting. So now, the closest one is Ysabella, still not Quirino. I think only recently we have a dialysis center. So continuing to give that access and kind of that convenience for people to have healthcare and to be taken care of is what I want to see, because we only have one provincial hospital in Quirino as well, and now one dialysis center, but that's not enough to cover all our health issues. So more access and more healthcare workers, really. Thank you so much.
Hi, being stuck there and communicating with your family here in the Philippines, how do you compare the COVID response of the Australian government and the Filipino government?
It was so easy for me as someone who's not Australian to get my vaccine, to get, into a clinic if I'm like, oh, I feel sick. There's always already somewhere there. Again, it goes back to the access that we need. And I think it also shows that some of the nurses there are Filipinos. So then it's kind of disheartening that there's some healthcare workers that choose going elsewhere, because we not only give them the right access to facilities to be empowered and to be comfortable in doing their profession, but I think it's also not giving them the right attention and help. So there's really a lot we have to work on.
Thank you.
Thank
Another
you.
one, as a woman in science, how do you apply the scientific method to your quest for the crown?
Again, as I said, I'm quite objective. I'm a step-by-step process, and with that process, I kind of learned, literally, if you look at my notebook, it's like, 1 would be passerella with aces and queens, 2 would be Q&A with coach people. I think my objectiveness in having a methodological way of doing stuff helps me kind of have the right headspace. Because if you've seen our schedules, it's quite back-to-back for the next 3 months. But having that process really helps me because it keeps me sane, really. I think at the end of the competition, one of the other goals is to keep sane, and being a STEM major and having that process helps me with doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I think she's,
The beauty blogger from the US who was a former Miss contestant.
Yeah, I mentioned.
Are you aware that she chose one of your pictures as one of the best headshots for this batch of Miss Universe
Yes, I can
Philippines?
see that.
Okay, so can you take us back to the moment when you learned about that, and how did you feel about the feedback from Danny Walker herself?
That was honestly like so good to hear, because the headshot I actually had sent was not the one that was presented. So I was so unsure with what was presented, if that's really what I wanted. But seeing Danny Walker's reaction was so reassuring that I'm still on the right track, and I'm giving still in every shoot that I do, in every event that I do, I give my best. So I guess that was the best version of me that she chose, which is really reassuring.
Bianca Ysabella Ray, Olay, Ylanan, Province of Quirino.
Bianca here. Bianca.
Garcia sa Aces and Queens, VJ Estaquio, Rainiel Espartero, si Sir Mark Roque Santiago. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. We can wait to see her shine even brighter on Miss Universe.